We're back. You're listening to Executive Leaders Radio. This is your host, Herb Cohen. We'd like to introduce Mo Rushdy, managing partner of RiverWards Group. Mo, what is RiverWards Group? What are you guys doing?
We are residential developers that do about 100 to 150 homes a year, valued at about $30 million worth of real estate a year.
And what's special about the folks that are moving into these homes?
They're mostly first-time home buyers.
They're first-time home buyers. Okie dokie. So we know you have a proclivity for helping people get their first home, that safety, that security. Where are you from originally?
Cairo, Egypt.
And you also came from another country as well. Where was that?
I've lived most of my life in Kuwait. Shortly after I was born, we've moved there.
Kuwait and Egypt. Okay. How young were you when you came to the United States?
I was 24.
And I understand there was some sort of an invasion going on in Kuwait. What was that all about? How'd that affect you?
That happened in 1990. I was 10 at the time. And there was an invasion that happened. Luckily, I was with my family.
What happened to your dad who was still there?
I'm sorry?
What happened to your dad who was still there?
He stayed there for a couple months after the invasion started, and he was trying to find a way out, and he managed to do that about 2 months to 3 months after the invasion.
Didn't he have some sort of a heart attack or something?
Absolutely. When he came back to Egypt from the invasion, he shortly after suffered a severe
What was that effect? What was the effect of your dad's heart attack on you?
Well, he was pretty young. He was always, to me, a pretty healthy guy, and this was a major transformation for me as a 10-year-old.
Why would it be a major transformation for you?
Well, it really shaped my personality into being much of a warrior when it comes to the people that are around me.
So you didn't feel a lot. You didn't feel you had a loss of safety, basically.
Absolutely.
Isn't that what you provide for other people, helping them with their first-time homes?
Absolutely.
I just wanted to make sure I understood that. Let's see, Christine.
Yeah, you used the words. I mean, your dad was pretty much stuck in Kuwait while the invasion was happening, that he had to find his way out. And so how do you help first-time homeowners find their way out to safety into their home? How do you do that?
Well, many the first-time homeowners are coming from rentals where they don't believe that they are able to purchase a home. So I personally sit with every single buyer or potential buyer and gives them that comfort, that safety, that what they can and what they cannot do. I handle their worries before they even start thinking about it.
That's perfect, Drew.
Well, I'm just curious. It sounds like a fairly stressful time when you were growing up, but what did you do for fun?
I played lots of soccer.
And what was your position on the soccer field?
I was a forward or an attacker.
And why? What was your role on the team?
Finishing it off with a goal.
So you were the finisher,
right?
And what did that experience, being the finisher on the soccer field, teach you about running a business?
Well, basically that you can run a business, but every business is results oriented. At the end of the day, you need someone to finish off, whether it's buying land, whether it's delivering a nice home, whether it's actually writing an agreement of sale for a client.
Perfect. Jeffrey?
Mo, tell us a little bit about your mom.
Mom is a tough woman. She raised us to really care much about education. She really was the person that put a lot of principles in us when it comes to caring about education, future, worrying about your own kids.
When you were a kid, did you have to study when you were a kid? Tell us about what your mother did to you regarding studying.
My mom ran the house like an army. Came back from school, we took a nap, we had lunch, and it was, or had dinner, and it was 6 hours worth of studying every single day.
Which country was this in? What country was this?
That was in Kuwait.
How old were you?
I was all the way starting the age of 7 or 8.
How do you think that 6
What do you take to work every day that you learn from your mother?
That's it.
It's really not to give up, to really have the goal in front of you and keep at it. I do not think of the obstructions. I've always look and see a way and a path to just reach my goal.
Has your mom seen the business you've built these days?
Absolutely.
How does she feel about it?
She feels very proud, and I am very proud that she feels proud.
David?
Tell us about your dad's role growing up.
Dad was the 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. kind of working guy. So he worked very hard. He was an engineer himself. He did a lot of, he was a tough guy on the field, but he was also that kind of guy that actually people or his employees were able to sit with him and discuss with them their difficulties, their struggles, their personal struggles. And he was the shoulder, that the warm shoulder that we actually came to at the end of the night and spoke to them about our day and what was going on, and he gave us the comfort.
No surprise that you just described that characteristic yourself. What else do you bring that your dad imparted on you?
Well, he's a very tough guy when it comes to business, to his business. I am very, I take things, I divide everything into tasks, and these tasks have to be done with a specific time, with a specific accuracy. I worry if it's not done. So I'm on top of everything at every point. I don't let things slip. And that was the way he was.
Matthew?
Some tell us, those of us who grew up in America, what we don't understand, what we need to know to understand growing up in Kuwait.
Well, we did not own a camel, that's for sure. So they had cars, they have buildings, TVs. We watched all the HBO shows. So it's just it's a great place to live in. It's unfortunate what happened back in the early 90s, but all in all, it's a great place to live in. I would say that too about Egypt.
And it's actually interesting to me because you spent most of your time in Kuwait, but you identify yourself when asked as Egyptian. So tell me what being Egyptian means to you.
Absolutely. So I always say I'm Egyptian to the core. Right now I'm an Egyptian American, but my dad left Egypt back in after the 6-Day War and in the mid 70s and migrated to Kuwait for better business opportunities, just because Egypt was economically drained, but we were in Egypt 3 to 5 months a year. So Kuwait has been great to us as a family, but we still identify as being Egyptians.
Peter?
Getting back to that connection you have between you and your clients, what are you doing for them that maybe they aren't doing for themselves? How are you helping them?
Clients, when you're buying a home, clients typically are very, very happy. They overlook a lot of the stuff that they should actually be looking at when it comes to buying a home. And I say this in the sense that, again, it comes back to the point about worrying, that I set the right expectations with buyers. I meet with every buyer to set these expectations.
Shannon?
In the green room, you mentioned at a young age you became a worrier, and now you're working with first-time home buyers. The process of buying a home tends to be a little stressful. So when your clients are worrying about things, how do you ease their mind?
Well, I do the worrying for them. So, like I was saying, it's a lot of times we go through, I point out the stuff that they should worry about and provide the solution to it and how to work their way through it. The last thing we want or I want as a developer is having people feeling they've made the wrong decision buying a house, or feel that their expectations are not met after they close on the house. So it's very important for me to just point out all the ups and downs in the process and just go through it in detail.
Jeffrey?
Mo, you mentioned you have twins.
I do.
What have you learned from your children?
Oh, my twins, they have a great story. They were born each about a pound each. So they're very premature. They were born 27 weeks. I had my wedding ring go through all the way through the thighs, one of the kids' thighs. So they were very, very petite. And they stayed in the hospital for 3 months. And just about who I am as a warrior, I was, they taught me a lot. It was, a roller coaster ride. One day up.
What did your kids teach you about running a business?
It's not to lose hope. Never lose hope. From day one, we thought they're gone. And with every day and with us staying on top of it, we knew that there's always hope.
How old are they now?
They're 10.
How are they doing?
They're doing absolutely great.
Mo, you talked about being an Egyptian versus living in Kuwait. And so I hear the word roots in that your roots were very important. How is the first house that someone has, how does that help them lay down roots? Is there a connection there between that?
Absolutely. It's a feeling that you cannot teach. It's I fly to Egypt all the time. I go there twice a year. The second I land, there's this connection. Home. It's home.
And home gets you through those difficult times.
Absolutely,
doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, what's the website address of this organization known as RiverWards Group?
RiverWardsGroup.com.
RiverWardsGroup.com. And I guess the good thing about running your own business is you get to go in at 9, you get to leave at 5.
I'm sorry?
You get to go in at 9, leave at 5. You get to work limited hours.
Oh, No.
What time do you?
We do not stop.
I didn't think so. We've been speaking with Mo Rushdy, managing partner of RiverWards Group here on Executive Leaders Radio. Jeffrey, can you give us a rundown on who else we've had the opportunity of speaking with today?
What a great show today, Herb. We have Deanne D'Amelio, President, Gwynedd Mercy University, Lisa Robinson, CEO and founder, My Independence at Home, John Jacobs, Chairman and CEO, Harmony Biosciences, and just now, Mo Rushdy, Managing Partner, RiverWards Group.
Excellent. I would like to thank my co-hosts, including Mr. Jeff Mack, Newmark Knight Frank, Peter Snelling, Merrill Lynch, Drew Hanlon, Matthew Shapiro, Obermeyer, David DeStefano, Exude, Christine Miles, Equipped, and Shannon Lane, Newmark Knight Frank, for giving me a hand structuring the questions, hopefully providing our listening audience an educational and entertaining show. Matthew, what is the website address of this law firm that we're hosting the show in today? And the website address, please.
Obermeyer.com.
And thank you for joining us today. We appreciate our listening audience. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a radio show. Don't forget to visit our website, executiveleadersradio.com, to learn more about our executive leaders. We'll be back next week. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.